Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Something different for you today. Many of you may not know, but I actually did a RC remote control car as one of the first videos on this channel. If you wade back through the pages and pages that I've now made, this is something that's very close to my heart as I went through all my teenage years growing up with RC cars, and actually had an offer from Hawkin's Bazaar, which is a gift, toy and gadget retailer. They asked if I wanted to check out their RC Survivor Series ST Truggy, and I just had to jump at the chance. This is currently $74.99 on their website. Now these cars come in orange and blue, and you can get a Truggy and even a monster truck style shell. And these are a hobby grade remote control car, which basically means you can upgrade certain aspects of the car, so you do have that customizability feature that you do get on the higher end model cars at a fraction of the price. This does have full front and rear independent spring suspension, and those shocks you can actually replace the oil. Going on a rough guess, I'd say this would have a fairly lightweight oil as standard, probably a 20 or 30 grade. I would whack that up to 50, maybe even 60, especially if you're like me and you like to batter the car quite a bit, just so you know the shocks will take the impact of those big jumps. There is an electronic speed control as well, and it does use a servo for steering, which you could always upgrade in the future to a high torque one if you wanted to get some quicker steering action. Runs with a 2.4 GHz frequency, which basically means it's great for beginners because you don't have to worry about crystals. No matter how many different cars you drive about on one track, you're going to stay connected with it and you're not going to lose control from it. Now if you search for HBX Survivor, you can get a load of spares for this car. Literally every part that you see you can replace, which is absolutely great. They're actually very inexpensive as well. You can find certain websites online that do free shipping with the parts as well. So you've really got no worry. If you were to break a part, you can easily get a replacement. It does have rechargeable batteries for the car itself, and the handset uses 2 AA's, so it's very quick to get up and running as well. So let's take a look at the car. Sorry that was a very long-winded intro, but I did want to get all those specs and a bit of background information out of the way first. Now I went for the orange Truggy on this occasion. I will put all of the different variants on screen now so you can have a look and see which one you prefer. Now as far as I know, the truck and the Truggy don't differentiate in any components. They all use the same parts, minus the tyres and the actual shell. Obviously where it's the truck, it needs to look a little bit different, and they do have a slightly different tread on the tyres as well. Now in terms of the looks of the truck, for this price I'm actually very satisfied with it. It does look a lot more expensive than it actually is, which is always a good thing. The majority of the car is plastic, minus the parts that obviously touch with the motors, like the drive shafts are metal, the shocks are metal, aluminium, and it is very well done overall. The plastic is very rigid as well. It's not cheap plastic, it is higher quality, and it will withstand a few bumps and knocks even though it is plastic. And I can tell you that from experience because I have crashed this quite a bit, going a bit mad with it outside. It actually uses a 3800 brushless motor, which does give you some pretty damn good speed as well. There's the shocks that I mentioned. You can change the fluid if you so wish. When you do push it down, it does sit a little bit low when it does bottom out. So that's where I said about adding some heavier shock fluid that would counteract that. You do have options to adjust the actual suspension itself. You can see the little holes you can screw the shocks into if you do wish to adjust the travel that they offer. And you can also adjust the toe of the wheels. If one's going a little bit too far in, you can easily adjust that. So underneath the shell, you've got the brushless motor at the back. Now this is 4-wheel drive as well, so you do get power to all wheels. In front of that, we've got the electronic speed controller. Then the batteries sit on either side. Further towards the front, we've got the servo, which you can replace if you so wish. Maybe whack a high torque one in there later on when you're a bit more experienced with it. You can also see the metal drive shaft that runs down the actual car. I may end up taking this off in the future just to have a little bit of a play about. That will make it 2-wheel drive and put all the power to the rear wheels, which could mean you could do some awesome donuts. That may just be a little aspect you can play about with at a later date. Especially with it being a hobby grade, you can do this nice and easily. On the left hand side of the car, we have got a power switch for easy control, and the batteries are housed either side under a little plastic clip. The company states that these take 2 hours to charge, and you do get 9 minutes of playtime back. I found this to be a little bit longer. You'll see all the camera footage later on in the video. I did do all of that on a single charge and still had enough to run for a little bit longer after that. I think it's mainly down to how much you thrash it. If you were to go absolutely bat crazy with it, then you would get the 9 minutes. But if you take it a little bit easier, you may get longer. Here is the included batteries with the battery charger. Just a simple wall outlet to charge them. In my own personal preference, I would like to see an upgraded version that uses battery packs over the single battery cells. This will just allow a greater battery life, especially 9 minutes for the amount of charge. It's not really a great ratio, so that's something that could always improve. Now this is the included pistol grip controller. Some people do like the stick controls, but personally I find this so much easier, especially for beginners. It's nice and easy to use. Just a simple squeeze of the trigger will go forwards, then pushing forward will brake, then pressing forward again will go into reverse. Obviously left and right for controlling. You can reverse that if you so wish. Running on 2.4 GHz means there's no aerial, which is also another nice feature. Now there is an aux button on the side. It doesn't actually do anything in this case. You've got steering and throttle trim. The steering just allows you to adjust how the car drives. So if it's going slightly left, just adjust it right a little bit to make sure it drives nice and straight. Then the throttle trim adjusts how much the motor activates when it's idle. Obviously you want to keep that down low so it doesn't move without your control. Remote control takes 2 AA batteries. These are just normal bog standard Pro Cell. I'd recommend going with rechargeables just because in the long run you'll save some money. So that's been a pretty detailed look around the car. I'm sure you want to see it in action, so these are a few clips I did outside. Now unfortunately it has gone a bit potato-ish on the camera. This is because I was using my G7X as it had autofocus. Trying to record using the GH4 and manual focus was just going to be an absolute mission. So I hope you don't mind me using the G7X on this occasion. I've got far more distracted with this car than I planned to in the first place. It's just really great to just charge up and take outside. Obviously it's not very loud being an electric motor. You can hear that quickly here. And although in some clips it does look like it's sped up, it's not at all. It's just that quick and nippy. Gets from a start to full speed in a matter of seconds. Just a proper true nippy car, and I've been very impressed with what this can do at such a great price point. As I said, it is a hobby grade car, so you can chop and change bits as you so wish, but overall a really great product. It's built very well considering it's plastic. The essential parts are metal, which is obviously good to see. The only thing I would like to see an improvement on is the battery life. 9 minutes of use for the 2 hours of charging isn't great, but this can be improved, and I hope to see a new version that does have a bit more of an optimized battery. With the holidays coming up, this would make a great gift, or even just treat yourself. If you recognise that, post it down in the comments below. So thank you for watching this video, guys. If you want to get yourself one, I will put a link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Thank you for Hawkin's Bazaar for sending this out for me to review, and I'll catch you all in the next video.